You really want to be under the goalpost with an offensive coordinator. They love the end zone as much as anybody. Matt Nagy with me, the Chiefs offensive coordinator. But Nags, I think you're one of the more fascinating stories in this league, and I kid you not, just because of the flashpoints you've dealt with and the way you built it. I didn't realize you're a high school football coach for almost 8 seasons.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was great. Mitch, when I first got out of playing in the Arena League and really out of playing in high school, I always knew I wanted to get into coaching, and I thought I was just going to be a high school phys ed teacher and teach for 30 years, be a high school football coach, and have all these little fun, creative plays to do. And back in Lancaster County in Pennsylvania, but was fortunate enough to have a great friendship and teammate in Brett Veach in college at Delaware, and I'll never forget the phone call when he got me involved into the internship with the Philadelphia Eagles, and I haven't looked back since. It's been amazing.
So you wanted to play as long as you could. I mean, you had this Arena League experience, and you actually got a little bit of time at quarterback with the Eagles camp.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, it was amazing. I go back and just think about it. At the time, Veach was trying to get me to come in and just kind of be an extra arm with Coach Reed in Philadelphia with the Eagles, but I knew deep down inside I was kind of hoping, well, maybe I can get in some drills and maybe just catch somebody's eye and see what happens. And so for the first training camp, nothing happened. I was there as a coach. I went back to selling real estate, did some high school coaching, and then Veach called back the next year and said, hey, Nags, he goes, come back to training camp again, and it's out of sight, out of mind if you don't do it. Coach isn't going to remember that you were here. And I said, Veach, I have a full-time job, and it's going to be hard for me to break away for 3 weeks, but I did it. And there I went more from the coaching side, and that's when I had the opportunity as a player. Coach called me in and offered me to play a preseason game, and unfortunately wasn't able to follow through because of the rules, but that's kind of how it got started, and that's how I got started with my relationship with Coach Reed.
So how much was there some trepidation of thinking, am I going to sell real estate the rest of my life, or am I going to be in football? I mean, how much doubt was there before Veach called you?
Yeah, you know what? I was at a crossroads. I can remember specifically sitting in a real estate, at a model home, selling real estate, basically Monday through Thursday, and then on the weekends it got busy when we had open houses. And I remember coaching in high school and knowing that I really enjoyed it and I liked it a lot. I liked real estate, but I didn't love it. And I always remember one of my coaches in the Arena League that said, you want to be a part of that 5% rule that he went by, which is you want to be 5% of America loves their job, 95% of America doesn't love their job, and be the 5%. And so for me, I was at that crossroads where I was in that 95%. I liked selling real estate, I didn't love it. And then I got that phone call from Coach Reed in 2010 offering me a entry-level job as an assistant coach for the Eagles, and it wasn't for very much money, but I came every day to work and I loved every single day of it.
How much offense did you learn from Coach Reed with the Eagles? And then let's go to when he gets the Chiefs job, and now all of a sudden you're quarterback's coach.
Yeah, I learned so much. It was invaluable. And as a quality control coach in Philadelphia for 3 years, a couple of those under Doug Peterson as the quarterback coach, Marty Morningweg as the offensive coordinator, that's where I really got to learn what it was like to learn the X's and O's of football. I was doing a lot of secretarial work, typing in different pages and typing in play call sheets for Sean McDermott, who was the defensive coordinator at the time. And then we got fired in 2012 from Philadelphia. And here I am, I left my real estate job, not making very much money as a quality control coach, in Philadelphia, and had 4 kids, a brand new home. Just wasn't, it was a crossroads, and Coach Reed gave the one beautiful phone call in 2013 and offered me the job as a quarterback coach here in Kansas City, and that's really when it took off, and just was so appreciative of that opportunity. And I pinch myself every day, every week, every month, every year that goes by from that day that Coach Reed brought me in and Brett Veach helped with that.
What about your relationship with Patrick Mahomes? Because I've often said this, you were like his caddy. He spends a year apprenticing, like he's doing practice rounds at Augusta, but never playing the Masters. What about that year, and how much did you grow in your relationship with Patrick?
It was amazing. It was that year when we drafted Patrick and he came in, it was such an interesting year with Alex Smith coming in and winning a lot of games, winning playoff games, and Patrick being a guy, to this day, he hasn't changed. He was so great to Alex, building trust, building that friendship, that bond, trying to learn from Alex. And I think now when you see Alex on TV and you see him always talk about how much and how special that year was to him, and how much he grew from Patrick as well. So I think for Patrick to understand what it's like day in and day out, what it's like in practice, how do you study when you're in the game, and at the end of the season he got in, was able to play against Denver and come back and help us win the game. And it's just been a special moment, and what his career has taken off to, it started with that relationship with Patrick, and I was able to be a part of that for that 1 year, and I'll never forget that for the rest of my life, and I'll actually always use that with the quarterback rooms moving forward.
I'll never forget it. You get the head coaching job of the Chicago Bears, and I had that kind of ambivalent feeling. I don't want you to go, but I was excited for you to get that job. And you become the coach of the year in that first year. That experience, let's take the first year in and of itself and how exciting that was to have your own team and to be that successful.
Yeah, just a circle of emotions. I had so much fun here, and this is home to us. Kansas City is home to us, my family, the people here, and I remember you and I talking when I was able to accept the job in Chicago, and just some of the tears we had, and just knowing, it was happy tears, and when you go there. But that first year then, to be able to win the division and go 12-4, and unfortunately we had the double doink, and in the playoffs that everybody talks about, but that's a part of life, and that's a part of learning. And it was a year that I'll never forget. It was a lot of fun, met a lot of great people, and then to be able to take that into another 3 more years for 4 total years there in Chicago. It's usually when you get fired, it doesn't always end the way you want it to end, but that time I learned so much, and I wouldn't change it for anything. I feel like it helped me become a better coach, a better person. To be able to come back home here to Kansas City with family and friends and everybody in this building, to get a couple Super Bowl rings, I wouldn't change it for the world, and I want to use that to become better. And again, it all starts back there with Brett Veach and Coach Reed, and then all the amazing people that I've been able to do it with in all this time.
Nags, one final question. The Chicago experience didn't end well. Anybody that's been in this league for a long time is going to have it happen to in one way, shape, or form.
Sure.
How much, your family's so special, Stacy's awesome, but how much did that experience galvanize you and bring you together as a family moving forward?
Yeah, it's wild. Until you go through it, you don't truly know it, but when you're in it, you realize that in those moments, there's certainly a lot of people against you, which comes with the territory. You signed up for that. But then you see, like you said, how galvanizing it is for the family and friends, specifically, my immediate family with Stacy and my 4 boys, Braden, Tate, Jackson, and Jet. The support that in the end, you always know, no matter how many games you win, no matter how many games you lose, no matter how many people are booing you at high school games, no matter how many people are booing you at a restaurant, that's a part of this. And I think you realize that through this, it does make you stronger. It does callous you. It does make you love each other even more, because in the end that's who you got. But then it also makes you appreciate when you pick yourself back up and you get to the big moments and you're able to win those Super Bowls those next couple of years. There was no better feeling than being on that football field after the game of both of those Super Bowls, and just knowing that we all did it together, we all stuck together. It's the best bond in the world, and that we just love each other so much, and that we want a lot more, but it's nothing like it. And I would not be here today without Stacy, Braden, Tate, Jackson, and Jet. I mean, it's been an amazing journey, and it's crazy how fast it goes.
Full disclosure, I was sad when you left, but happy you got the job. I didn't want to see you get fired, but I was sure happy you came back.
Thank you.
So was Patrick.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.